Have you ever wondered why Peppa Pig's world looks like this? Wrong. We used to write it off as a child's drawing style. But what if I told you that behind these two-dimensional hills lies not just an artist's fantasy, but a detailed map of our world? This building is not a figment of the imagination. This is a 900-year-old Danish church. And this is the British Museum. In this video, we will sink to the very bottom of the architectural iceberg of Peppa Pig. We will find the real coordinates of the house that broke the internet, uncover the geographical crimes of the British Queen, and understand why the creators of the show hid the real London from us for decades behind the mask of a childish grotesque. Are you ready to see the truth? Then welcome to the strangest investigation of this year. It all started in 2023. The internet exploded from a single frame. Enthusiasts have found something that was considered impossible, the right house on the hill, but the reality turned out to be much more intriguing than fan theories. This is the Feinberg Church in Denmark. The coincidence is frightening. The bright red roof, the triangular shape, and most importantly, the absolute isolation at the top of a steep hill. Why does a British cartoon take Danish architecture as a basis? Is this just an accident or a hidden reference to the roots of Northern Europe? But this is only the first open loop, because as soon as the coordinates of the church became viral, people began to find Peppa houses all over the world. And the more we found, the scarier the overall picture became. We have seen yellow cottages in terraced buildings in England, we have seen houses with red roofs in the valleys, but they didn't fit, because Peppa doesn't share her hill with anyone. Her home is a fortress, and here we come across a real paradox. A house in the mountains that looks like it's preparing for the apocalypse. Take a look at this. A red roof, yellow walls, and kilometers of emptiness all around. House on steroids. If in the cartoon Peppa jumps into muddy puddles, then here she would have to do base jumping right off the porch to pick up the mail. But why is the architecture in the series so aggressively isolated? In the official ENT, we are told that this is just a style. However, psychologists and architects see something else in this: status. Each house in Peppa Town is located on its own dramatic peak. This is a world where social distancing was invented long before 2020. But wait, if each house is a separate island, how did they build the urban infrastructure? This is the point of no return. In one episode, Peppa's class goes to the museum, and any resident of London will immediately recognize these features. Massive columns, pediment, characteristic yellowish stone. This is the British Museum. In reality, the British Museum is really famous for its galleries of antiquities and Egyptian halls. But look at what the animators have done. They took one of the heaviest and grandest buildings in the world and put it on top of a fucking mountain. The animators weren't just inspired, they've moved the internal structure. Do you understand the absurdity of the situation? It would take Miss Rabbit's fleet of helicopters to get the mummies, marble statues, and Rosetta Stone there. This is a geographical crime. Why did the creators decide to isolate culture from people? Why is knowledge literally at an unattainable height in Peppa's world? When Peppa goes grocery shopping, the world around her changes. Suddenly the mountains disappear. The shopping area appears before us, colorful houses pressed against each other, Victorian facades, striped awnings. This is a direct cast from Portobello Road. It's an icon of London. And here the animators show us that they can draw normal cities. They know how sidewalks work, how buildings are connected in a single line. A logical question arises. If the shopping area is flat and functional, then how does it connect to the rest of the mountain world? Is there a lower city that we are not being told about? Or are the hills an illusion created so that the inhabitants cannot see what is happening beyond their peaks? And the most important question is, what happens when pigs come from their distorted world to ours, the real London? When Peppa travels to London by train, the series takes a sharp turn towards hyperrealism. Trafalgar Square, King's Cross Station, outlines of the cucumber and greater skyscrapers. Everything is in place. Even the map of the Northern Line on the subway wall is drawn with frightening accuracy. But it was here, in an attempt to be precise, that the authors made the biggest mistakes. First, the flag over Buckingham Palace. The Union Jack is hanging, although the Queen is at home. According to etiquette, the royal standard should be hung. Secondly, bus number 15. In the cartoon, he goes to Balcombe. In reality, it's from Poplar to Charing Cross. This is a physically different route. But the most incredible thing is Westminster Bridge. In the cartoon, it runs parallel to the Parliament building. Anyone who has been to London knows that it crosses the Thames perpendicular. The animators seem to be playing with us. They create a perfect replica of reality and then deliberately break it to remind us that this is not our world. This is a world where a queen rules, capable of madness. This is the culmination of the whole strangeness of the show. The Queen of Great Britain takes a group of children on a double-decker bus and jumps over the diverging sections of the Tower Bridge. You'll say, well, it's a cartoon. But what if I tell you that this is a true story? In 1952, Albert Ganter, the driver of the 78 bus, actually made this jump when the bridge began to open due to a staff error. Peppa's animators inserted a reference to a dangerous traffic accident 70 years ago into the children's series. What for? To show that the Queen in this world is above the laws of physics and traffic regulations? Or to give us a hint, does everything we see in this show have a double bottom? So, what do we have? The world of Peppa Pig is not just a collection of drawings. It is a distorted mirror of our reality. Danish churches, British mountaintop museums, historically accurate bridge jumps, and secret shopping plazas. The creators of the show built the universe on the foundation of real architecture, but deliberately distorted the geography, creating a world of absolute isolation. Everyone lives on their own hill. Everyone sees only what they are allowed to see. Which location struck you the most? Do you believe that there is a hidden meaning behind the choice of the Danish church, or is it just a lazy design? Visual, blackout, text on the screen. Next time we'll take apart the basement of Peppa's house. Write your theory in the comments. I read everything. And remember, sometimes what seems like just a child's picture is someone's carefully thought out plan. See you in the next investigation.